Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Sled Talk, where we love talking everything snowmobiles. From pulling the cord to pulling your hair out, there's nothing we won't discuss. I'm Rob Reed.
I'm Steve Glass.
And we're here to have a great show and let you know what's going on in the world of snowmobiling today. Steve, did you know that right now we are probably the biggest snowmobile podcast
That's what that meant.
in Latvia?
That's cool.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, you start looking at all the information that comes back and you know, analyzing what's going on and that. And you go, Latvia, cool.
Yeah, how many people are there? Not there, but
I can't even remember.
Okay.
It was a big number.
Okay.
Not as big as Sweden. Sweden's still like number 3.
right. Well, I expect that. There's a lot more snow. A lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I don't know. I've never been there either.
Yeah, well, it's like up north. It used to be northern part of the USSR.
Oh, so they
it's
got
its own
snow.
country
They got
now.
snow and stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right.
So yeah, I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. Now you had something you wanted to, you did that shout out for your buddy the other day in the last episode, and you wanted to send another one out today.
To Sun and Snow?
Yes.
Yes, they sent me this nice hat after we mentioned them on a video that they saw.
Yeah, and I got to tell you,
Yeah.
I'm not too happy with your people at Sun and Snow. I'm really not. And I really only one hat, you guys?
Yeah. Maybe we'll get a second hat.
Well, that sure would be nice, wouldn't
Yeah, it would be.
Okay.
But anyway, great people, awesome products.
I know you've had nothing
Nice
but...
big catalog. You can go through their catalog and
Yeah.
phone me with part numbers.
I know. All joking aside, they've
Yeah.
been good to you. I know
Yeah,
that.
they have been.
Yeah. I was out riding yesterday with a good friend of ours and my daughter.
Yeah.
And we were zipping along the Red River up near Chesley's Point. Guess what's back on the river?
I can't pronounce that thing very well. That's why you're supposed to say it.
Oh, I see.
Amphibex.
Amphibex. The Amphibex, there's 3 of them out there. And
Right.
why are they there?
Breaking up the ice so it doesn't ice jam.
Right.
That I knew.
Reduce the flooding.
And make it dangerous, a little more dangerous this time of year. Like,
Well-
I think you're supposed to stay off of it now, aren't you? Or
There's
stay away
signs
from
everywhere.
them.
Yeah, it's all signed up. Like if you can't see one of those signs,
Right.
you get what you deserve.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're pulling the ice shacks off. The fishermen are probably cursing and swearing.
Where are they on the river right now?
They are just south of Chesley's Point, for anyone that knows where that is, on the Red River.
Do they start
And-
there and work their way in?
Yeah, and work their way south towards Selkirk. So yeah, they were, I don't know, maybe had they gone as far as a mile? And they were digging away, crashing ice, and I mean, it's pretty impressive to watch.
Yeah, I've seen them once.
And even we stopped there to have a look at them, and my daughter's going, aren't they sinking? Because they were, the back end of them sit so deep in the water.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, but yeah, I don't know if I'd want to run one of those
No.
things.
No.
But yeah, you're right. They're there to prevent flooding and reduce flooding and ice jams. I'm wondering sometimes if just dredging the mouth of the Red at Lake Winnipeg would be as effective. I'm not the expert here, but
No.
And nor was I an Amphibex salesperson who really lucked out with selling 3 of these things.
Yeah.
But
Well, they've been using them for years. They must be working out.
yeah, I would think. And so anyway, that's out there. If you're thinking about going up the Red River and haven't been that way yet, be aware, and of course stay off of the areas where they've been breaking ice, because that ice will crush you.
Yeah.
If you don't go just straight to the bottom.
Yeah.
Did you know, Steve, that Uber,
I don't see anything but Uber on your board, but okay.
you don't believe everything you read.
Yeah.
But Uber was offering snowmobile service in the Olympics in Milan.
Like snowmobile deliveries?
They could ride you around. You could,
Oh!
You could jump on Uber.
Oh yeah, because Uber's like a taxi thing.
Yeah.
I was thinking of like the ones we order food.
No.
Okay, no, that makes sense. Makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
So I guess, when the athletes weren't keeping themselves warm in their own unique ways, they could jump on a snowmobile and cool off a little bit.
Yeah, that's neat.
And they were giving them rides up into the mountains, and I guess it was about an hour tour, and kind of a neat idea. I think that, there's probably opportunities in many communities for Uber to be doing more of that sort of thing.
Do you remember the blizzard of maybe '86 or something? Does that make sense?
86 is a good year, yeah.
And the city of Winnipeg would gas you up if you took your snowmobile to Assiniboine Park, as long as you were using it to drive nurses and doctors and people around that had to get to work.
Yeah.
and you were allowed to ride on all the roadways, and they were even gassing people up.
I do remember that. I remember picking up some nurses at, I'm going to say West Park Manor, and driving them home from there.
Yeah, my mom got rides back and forth for a few days to work. She worked at that old folks home.
Right, and I remember riding my snowmobile up and down Portage Avenue.
Yeah, that was neat.
I can safely say, amongst the other things that I've done in life that are probably, you get those things on Facebook and say, have you done these 20 things? Like, if you got a tattoo, if you spent a night in jail, like all that stupid crap.
Yeah.
The stupid crap that I've done that have never made that list. Have you ever ridden a snowmobile at Portage in Maine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Straight down Portage Avenue. Yeah,
but you're allowed to.
Yeah.
Because it took so many days to clear the snow back then.
It was great.
Yeah, I know. And I think that storm rolled in on a Friday.
Yeah, it was. It was a great weekend.
Yeah.
So we had a good time with that.
Yeah. So you were like Ubering?
Mm-hmm. We were like Ubering, and these guys weren't getting paid for it either.
No?
Yeah. And you sit back and you think, man, snowmobiles are just such a great thing, because look what they're doing with them now. Uber.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Yeah.
I was pretty pleased with that. You, my friend, were commenting the other day about the new look of the new snowmobiles.
I mentioned on my page that I thought they were all kind of the same, boring, not distinct anymore, and not very good looking compared to the snowmobiles of the 70s and 80s. And I made a post, and I had over 80,000 people agree with me on my 70s and 80s machines, and about 60,000 people agree with me on my 90s machines.
Right.
And I had a couple of people defending the new machines. They'd say, of course they're distinct, they have different spindles and things like that.
What kind of idiot would even say that?
That you can't even notice when you're driving by a snowmobile. And then I literally thought, am I that dumb that I can't tell the difference? And I was at the gas station gassing up the other day, and there were some guys gassing up, and I looked, and I'm like, I still don't know what they are. I think they were Skidoos because of the colors.
Right.
And I mean, I know there's differences in spindles and things like that, but you look at the stuff from the late 70s, man.
Yep.
Those pictures that I posted, one was like an old Blizzard with the big front end on it, and a TX. Those were like super cool looking.
TXLs, they were beautiful. They were probably the most incredible looking snowmobile of the era, the TXL.
If you're a Polaris guy, maybe. But every manufacturer was trying to do something completely different. They wanted their sleds to look different.
Well, as they should.
And they wanted to come out with different features on them. And like, if I'm out riding around on my Skidoo and you roll up on your Polaris, I'd be kind of excited to take it for a ride and try it, because it would be totally different. I don't see that now.
Well, you know what you start thinking about, I'll say the late 70s cars.
No, the same thing. That's what people...
They were all,
Well,
what was it, the Jimmy Carter, dating ourselves here, but the Jimmy Carter oil and energy crisis, and all these cars go out, super small Mustangs, remember? They got super small, four-cylinder grocery getters. It was an embarrassment to the Mustang.
Well, now it's an electric SUV. It's even
That's
worse.
where I was going with that. Then they kind of brought the Mustang back to a level of prominence where they turned them into that belly button car with the 5-liter.
Yeah.
And now they've turned them into an electric SUV. Again, a slap in the face to the Mustang.
And I think I upset a lot of the new sled guys because I said that they were the SUVs of snowmobiles.
Well, they more or less are.
I could sit back all day and look at SUVs drive by me, and they're all basically the same. They're all silver and white, and you look at the new snowmobiles, and what got me started was Skidoo putting out, I'm a Skidoo guy, them putting out their new snowmobile, and they made a huge, big deal because it's purple, right?
Right.
They changed the color. Big deal. It's
so let's see, purple has been Arctic, Polaris,
Purple was Skidoo
and Skidoo
in the 90s.
Yeah.
On the Formula 3s and stuff. And they have this other feature where when you roll up to a stop and you put your brake on, your engine shuts off. And then when you release the brake, your engine starts again. And I said, what's that for? And the guy that was going on about how great it was said it's for when you stop to talk to your buddies. And I said, well, I just hit my kill switch, talk to my buddies, and then start my snowmobile again.
Yeah.
I mean, the new features and stuff, and the screens.
Yeah.
The navigation screens and all that stuff.
Well,
Bill's navigation screen on his brand new snowmobile froze twice yesterday. You know?
Piece of crap.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this, Steve. We were at, I'm going to say last year, we were at a local restaurant, and we walked out of there, and my 2009 Dragon sitting there, right beside a much, much, much newer Polaris.
Yeah.
And I looked at my suspension, then I got down and looked at that suspension, and I went, they're essentially the same.
Well, I was riding a 2024 Skidoo yesterday, and it was definitely more comfortable than my 2007 Yamaha, but not that much different. You're right, and it didn't handle that much different, and for the price difference, it wasn't really.
Yeah. So where I'm going with this is, if your mechanical parts of your snowmobile have remained basically the same, except for the spindle guy. Good thinking.
That's how you tell them apart, man.
Yeah, I guess it's the spindles.
Yep.
But if all of that remains the same and the price keeps jumping up because you have a big screen or automatic engine shut, like, who needs this shit?
I know.
It just, to me, it's ridiculous. You know another thing that's ridiculous?
And retro wraps on machines too, right?
Oh yeah.
It's like, hey, we got this machine, we can't think of anything new to do. Let's put a retro wrap on it and call it a new, brand new snowmobile.
Yeah, it's kind of like, how, all the music or anything decent that's coming out these days is just a cover song from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
So, especially in country music, because, let's face it, country music is a bad rock band with a fiddle player. And they just,
Let me get back on topic here for a second.
Okay.
So any person that was defending the new machines, I would just comment with how long they've been riding, and I'd never hear from them again.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they've probably been riding 10 years.
Yeah, or less.
Or less, and that's all they've ever seen.
They
haven't experienced the really cool machines. And then when I did that post, I was just posting on the 4 big ones, right? Putting pictures of those on. Yeah. But then people are putting on pictures of the Kawasaki's and the Scorpions and the Ski Rules and all those really, and they all look different. Like there was,
every single one of them.
Probably 50 or 60 snowmobiles. There was a few of the machines that were the same kind of thing, like the old Nordic kind of thing. That style went on a lot, but there were so many different snowmobiles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's funny because I went and had a look at Polaris's new lineup. They had their YouTube video talking about that. And they're scrolling through, and they get to their, they spent the bulk of their time on the Rocky Mountain Kings, the RMKs.
I think the manufacturers are all designing snowmobiles for the mountains too.
Yeah, which fortunately North America has mountains from coast to coast. and so by the time they'd finished jabbering on about the RMKs, they got over to the trail sled, and it's the new Polaris Patriot. And I thought, who's the idiot who named this?
Yeah.
Because talk about anyone that, Canadian-wise, that's in love with anything going on in the United States right now is going to look at that and go, I'm not a patriot. I'm not an American. And right now, the Patriot appears to be blue, but you may as well have painted it orange. And I get that it's coming from a blue state. And probably the Minnesota people are sitting there thinking, what were the people at Polaris thinking?
Yeah.
And sorry to get political here, everybody, but what the hell?
Rupp had an American back in the day. I thought that's Sled sitting in the back 40.
Yeah.
Rupp American.
Yeah, but we got along with them.
That's true, yeah.
They weren't, and again, I know it's not the people, it's the nut in charge.
Yeah.
But, really at this state and time, was Patriot the best name choice?
Snowmobiles aren't named very well, just like cars anymore either.
Well, I know, but there's got to be someone in marketing that went, wait a minute, and maybe he's unemployed right now, or should be. So they,
or they were just targeting the U.S.
Yeah, could be, knowing that they're not going to sell a bunch of them in Canada because of the tariffs. Again, one of the reasons why Patriot wouldn't be a good name choice. But hey, let's not go down that.
And these new sleds are so huge. You don't ride them, or you ride on them, but you don't ride them.
Yeah, well, that's why they need such big engines in them, 850s and 900s. At least back in the day when you bought a sled with an 800, it performed.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's like you need that just to get it to move.
And all the motor combinations even back then, right?
Yeah.
He's got a twin, he's got a triple, he's got 4-strokes came out about then, but
you got a long track, you got a trail sled was truly a trail sled.
Yeah.
2-up sled.
Cross-country sleds.
Yeah.
Like cool sleds.
Yeah. So, anyways, I agree with you. I think that the new offerings, they're either getting lazy, they are running out of ideas, they are trying to do cost-cutting and cost-saving measures.
Oh, another big feature that I read was, it was on the Skidoo too, actually. Uses less fuel and less oil. And I was just like, less oil, that's great. That's what we need. We've had them blowing up with less oil for years now.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna even use less oil.
Yeah. Oh, that's good for you.
Yeah. If I wanted to work on those things, yeah.
So here's something, you know what I mean? I don't want to spend it
right,
the entire show rattling on about this. I think we beat it up enough. But in Barnes Corners, so I guess Barnes was important because he had more than one corner. But in Barnes Corners, New York, the annual Vintage Snowmobile event brought with it some good news. Governor Kathy Hochul has agreed to drop the cost of registering a vintage sled to $25.
That's nice.
Yeah, which I think is great for the people in that area because they talk about how everything we've talked about, these sleds don't do a lot of riding.
No.
But, you know, there's one or two, she mentions 3 rides a year, maybe. They're not tearing up the snow, but it is putting a little bit of money back into the coffers of the clubs. Mm-hmm. You probably have more people registering.
So that's for registration or for like a pass?
That's a trail pass.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, it allows them to get out there and ride these sleds this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just making sure to acquire a special permit, right? So that they can go out and ride the trails. And as we've talked about, you want to do a little poker derby or a vintage derby, and you have to find some weird way to do it because it's not being sanctioned here in Manitoba. And I would like to think that the government of the day, our buddy Wob, and I should probably have a chat with him because I know Wob watches the show.
Oh, sure he does.
And actually, I got an interesting story about him. So I met him at a business function right after, not the last budget, the one before that. And I walked over to him and I said, Mr. Premier, how you doing? I said, the last time I talked to you, you were Wob. And he smiles and shakes my hand and he says, I'm still just Wob. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was nice. So we ended up having a really nice conversation about a bunch of things. But I'm wondering if we should be reaching out to him and saying, listen, Mr. Premier, Wob, buddy,
send him a message, Rob.
Get him on the show.
Oh, that
wouldn't that be something?
That would be something.
Yeah, so anyways, get in touch with him and say, listen, I don't know that $25 is the right number.
If it was $25, I'd put passes on 6 snowmobiles.
What I would suggest?
In a heartbeat.
Is 25% of the current rate.
Okay. Yeah.
And that way, as rates go up, because, a cost of repairing groomers and fuel and everything else that, is associated with maintaining trails goes up. So if you made it 25% of current price, it's still, what would that be, $35?
Yeah, that'd be okay too.
$35, $40?
You get a bunch of vintage snowmobiles on some little ride rolling into some little restaurant somewhere, and that's going to be their day, right? Mm-hmm. Spending money at that restaurant, because they're not tearing around, trying to put on thousands of miles either.
Yeah,
so
100%. So, who do you think? Should we get in touch with Wob?
Yeah, I think you better.
You don't want to take lead on that one?
No, I've never met him.
You've never met him?
No.
Okay. All right, so anyways, some interesting stuff going on because that's not the only area that's done this. I know there are a number of areas through the U.S.
Didn't we say Minnesota was free for a certain age?
Might have been. I can't remember.
But yeah, if they weren't free, they had a reduced thing like this too.
Mm-hmm. And I've had other people that have sent me messages and things, as we've been doing the show here, talking about what they have and what's required, and I'm gathering a bunch of information in case we ever do have that opportunity to have the conversation.
I'm going to throw something out right now
that
we've probably talked about before, but if the trail passes were for the rider instead of the snowmobile, and you spent your $150 and had a trail pass hanging around your neck or in your wallet or something, but you could ride any snowmobile you had, I think that would be the best thing ever. And then let's say you have a buddy, he doesn't have a snowmobile, but he wants to borrow yours, he has to still go buy a trail pass. But then he can borrow people's snowmobiles and ride them all year, and he spent the money for a trail pass. And I mean, if you're a family, you still all have to each have a trail pass still. You're not losing any money that way.
Right.
But then I could go hop on anything that's might
and
be
you
running.
run in the 25 in the
Yes,
free?
and just go for a little trail ride. And if I get stopped, I have my pass on me.
I wonder what the downside of that is.
It's harder to not spot an orange plate, right?
Well, for sure. There'd be enforcement.
Or you make it so you can put that plate on whatever you're riding.
That I wouldn't agree with because the liability insurance and all the things that go with that.
Yeah.
But
okay, then you just have your machine has to be registered, and you have to have a trail pass on you.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever been stopped I've actually been stopped where it wouldn't be hard. Like they ask you if you're registered, or they come up to you and talk to you, right? I imagine they do set up where they just watch for orange plates going by too.
Right.
And that would be gone maybe, but.
Well, I mean, yesterday when we were out riding.
Or how about you have to trail pass your main riders, but you have this thing for all your vintage stuff.
You could have two, yeah.
But I like the idea of just the trail pass is on you, and it's your trail pass, and you jump on whatever snowmobile you want.
Yeah, well, when we were out riding yesterday, we went riding past the RCMP, and again, all three of us with the proper plates, and not a word, they didn't blink.
Yeah.
They really didn't care.
Were they on the side of you to see your plates even? Were they?
Yes, they were.
Okay.
Yeah. But in the past, we've had this happen where, you know, we were sitting in a place having a sandwich or a beer or whatever, and the RCMP have walked in and said, whose sled's that out there that isn't registered properly?
Yeah,
Because
they know.
They know.
Right, so it's not
So
like,
that's, again, against your personal program.
not really, because they'd be able to pull up your plate and see if you have a trail pass.
On which sled?
Doesn't matter.
So you'd still have to register every single sled.
Every snowmobile's registered. Yep.
Okay.
And if they're all under your name, and that's how they catch you. I've seen them do serial numbers, and I've seen them just punch in license plate numbers, right? And it would come up and say, yeah, this guy wants a trail pass.
I'm going to tell you that you're adding a level of complexity.
You don't have to have a trail pass to be sitting somewhere at like a hotel or a
Oh, no,
bar.
I get, but how did you get there?
I know, yeah. It does make it a step more complicated for authorities. Makes it a million times easier for your rider.
Right. We live in a world where it isn't about us anymore. It's about how much they can control us. Sorry, all the conspiracy theorists are out there going, yeah. But I mean, realistically, it is about them making it easy for themselves and how easy they can manage this.
And they'll make a ton more money if you have to put trail passes on every snowmobile you have too. Well, no, I don't think they will make a ton more, but they'll definitely do a little better.
Well, that's why I like the reduced cost for
that
the
would work.
vintage sleds.
That would work
Because
too.
honestly, I think that these guys are riding them. They're just not putting trail passes on.
Yeah, they are.
You know, they're still doing that 1 or 2 rides and they're chancing it.
Yeah,
You know?
guaranteed. Yeah.
And if anyone's running an official vintage
I'll
poker
tell
derby, they're
you,
staying off the trails.
I've rolled into a warm-up shack on a old snowmobile before with no pass, and all the riders of that were there were super happy and like said, "You made our day riding up on those old machines." Like the public didn't give a crap that I didn't have a pass.
Oh yeah, no, I get it.
They just thought it was really cool that those old machines were out on the trail.
Well, let's face it, the snowmobiling demographic is aging.
Yeah,
and
that's why everybody doesn't like the new snowmobiles and likes the old snowmobiles.
Well, you mean it's like old fogies like you that are getting all bent out of shape on these new snowmobiles.
Yep.
I mean, whereas, you know, the vintage snowmobiles are a nostalgic, kind of a walk down memory lane.
Yeah.
You're not going to do the big rides on them, but
No.
they are fun and people love them, and they are unique. You're right about that. I will, as we look around your shop here and look at the different sleds that are here, and as the age gets older, they get more and more unique.
They do.
Each one has its own personality, I'll say that. And I told you how last year I walked into a warm-up shack and there was one of those Yamaha / Articats. And I stopped for a second because they were identical sleds except for the deck link.
No, they were identical sleds, yeah.
And it was kind of a, really? And you understood kind of why Yamaha was starting to go away.
Yamaha used to make the coolest sleds.
Well, your SRXs.
My SRX, my old VMAX, like
you got that out there.
they threw out sleds that were just completely out of the ballpark for everyone else back in the day.
Yep, for sure. Well, they all had, I mean, like you say, unique stuff. We can sit here and talk about that all day.
We're doing a whole vintage show one day.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right. You're taking over control. Is that it?
No, just that show. Like I don't care
I'm
what
just
you're
saying that's what
I don't care what you write on your board. I'm just going to go off on vintage snowmobiles for 30 minutes.
All right. Well, I just won't bring anything that day.
Okay.
You are the conductor. You are the maestro.
Yeah.
You're the man in charge.
Okay.
All right. So, with that in mind, what have you got for a tech tip?
I'm going to say accessories.
Okay.
Check all your accessories.
Your accessories. So that
Headlights, brake lights, thumb warmers, handlebar heaters, anything that's an accessory.
So just to be clear, when handlebar heaters entered the scene.
Yeah.
And it was new technology.
Yeah.
It was far superior than having one of those big glass screens now.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I could have had a big glass screen on my snowmobile yesterday when my handlebar heater quit working, but I still would have froze my hands.
Yep.
And it would be very uncomfortable.
Okay.
So
Just checking, because you never know.
there's some nice aftermarket stick-on handlebar heaters
Right?
from Sun and Snow that are going on my Yamaha
Because it crapped them.
because it crapped out and I froze my hands.
Even with mittens.
Oh yeah,
You
big
got rid
mittens.
of your gloves or put them in the thing and pulled out your mittens.
Yeah, I was wearing my mittens all day because I knew my handlebar heater wasn't working. But you kind of, like, who needs handlebar heaters? We didn't have them when we were young.
Yeah.
But holy mackerel.
Well,
that cold?
You're old now. Your blood pressure is lower, unless you were out drinking the night before. Then your blood pressure's through the roof.
Yeah.
But the blood isn't getting to your hands like it used to.
Yeah, that arthritis and all that.
Oh, that nasty
Yeah,
stuff.
I know. Check, make sure your headlights work, your high beams, your low beams, your brake light, your tail light.
Yep.
I get a lot of snowmobiles coming here with brake
So
lights.
those are accessories?
I consider them accessories. They're on my list as accessories.
Really?
You don't need them to ride.
Brake lights and
get a
options.
lot.
Don't really need that.
I get a lot of snowmobiles rolling in here with no brake light.
Yeah, I'm
People
sure
don't
they do.
notice it.
Yeah, well,
Check that sort of stuff.
but that is part of your preseason.
Yeah.
You know?
Handlebar heaters, thumb warmers.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure your electric visor works if that's what you're using. Remember the days when those didn't work all that well? Oh,
I remember the days before we had them.
that's true. You just,
And you were always kind of looking through one corner of your
yeah.
You'd stop and try and scrape a little bit of it off so you could see it for a little while again and find a way. I remember. It was the buddies with the fan-cooled engines. You'd take your
yeah.
goggles over and
Yeah.
let the heat from the engine melt it all.
Yeah.
You could ride again.
I remember riding one day and going, there was a bunch of snowmobiles coming. And of course, as soon as the headlights hit your frosted over visor, it's just everything. You can't see nothing anymore. And I thought, I'll just pull over and let these guys go by. And I pulled over right into a tree.
Nice.
And then the next day, we actually noticed it was the tree that had the trail marker on it. But I couldn't see a thing.
Yeah, you're a prize.
I couldn't see a thing. I went over the handlebars.
Yeah.
But that had to do with the bad visors back then.
Yeah.
That's one thing, I watch it. Getting onto vintage snowmobiles for 30 more seconds.
Sure, go ahead.
I ride these things and I go, how do we live through these? The headlights like a little orange glow.
Mm-hmm.
There's no handlebar heaters. There's no accessories.
No electric start, no reverse.
No electric start, no reverse. If you don't have a good helmet, there's no electric visor plugs on them.
Well, even when you started adding that stuff, they didn't create enough electricity to power everything.
Especially handlebar heaters back then, eh?
Yeah.
Go to Canadian Tire, buy a pair of handlebar heaters.
And your headlight got
Your headlight got dim.
added an electric face mask to that, and you weren't riding at night anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
What next?
And I think that's, so you're done with accessories?
Yeah, accessories. This
Yeah,
is like another
everyone's,
nice Sun and Snow product here.
So if your handlebar heaters have crapped out,
Yeah.
your thumb heater is crapped out,
You could replace the
your
thumb
tail
warmers.
light is crapped out,
Yeah.
then you can help them with
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
All right. Well, I think that is pretty much it for today.
Okay.
So, snowmobiling is all about performance and keeping your hands warm.
Uh-huh.
Performance Supply is all about ensuring that you have a great, comfortable snowmobile season. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.